legal shooting line. About 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Same kind of wind as yesterday. None at all. Pretty good. Hopefully I can catch that first group of doe coming through. And then if nothing happens there, I get the second shot like I did yesterday. But you never know what goes on in the woods. And I just heard my first gunshot, by the way. You looking at me, I'm looking at you. Little squirrel, little fox squirrel, what are you doing? Don't you dare jump to this other tree. Jerk. Wiggle your tail, wiggle your tail. What you doing, little fox squirrel? What are you doing? Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Wiggle that tail all you want, buddy. Oh, don't you dare. Go on out of here. Very photogenic, are you? What you got? Why are you reaching for stuff? Don't be reaching. Don't be reaching. Don't be reaching. Pal. Don't be reaching. I think this guy is stalking me. He's a weirdo. Stop being weird. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I just want to take some pictures. All right, so the Thanksgiving Day hunt, I'm trying not to keep you any longer than I have to, but, you know, hunting pressure is a real thing. If you're new to hunting, is this your first year? Are you novice? Is this your second year? Hunting pressure is a real thing. And I like to tag out before a gun because hunting pressure gets really, really ramped up. And it ultimately changes the course of what the deer are going to do and what paths they're going to take. This is a prime example. I will say this, though. You know, looking at my time and hearing the first shot, questionable. And I think that ultimately altered what they were going to do that day. You know, if you go back to the previous video, there's 8 to 10 deer there, okay? There's 8 to 10 deer there. And now there's none because, you know, shots were ringing out all through the morning hours. That's going to change. That's going to change the deer's attitude. They're not going to cruise the fields. They're not going to stand in an open field, and they're definitely not going to sit on the edge lines of fields. They're going to go back to cover. They're going to go back to their core area, and they're going to sit there. I heard a lot of shots from either side of me, and I stayed there till about 11 o'clock because I was hoping with these guys shooting, and some of them shot more than once, so I don't know what that was about, maybe missing a lot. I was hoping that would kind of push deer to me. Every time I heard a shot, I said, I'm going to sit in the tree stand for 20 more minutes. It might give me an opportunity. They might stumble upon me, and I might get an opportunity to harvest a deer and fill my last tag. But it wasn't meant to be. So that's something to really notice. If I ever get a chance to gun hunt, I go like I did on the Brown and Down hunt. I'll go. I have no problem with that. But unfortunately in this spot, hunting spot number 1, kind of have an agreement that I'm not going to take a firearm back there and shoot at deer with it. And that's something that I'm going to abide by because that spot does produce deer. It does produce quality deer. And I'm going to, abide by the agreement that I have with the landowner. And it's just one of those things. When that stuff happens, it's hard to get around, and that day was a long day. That was a half a day sit. I did have to come home and help Cindy button up Thanksgiving dinner, so I couldn't stay out there all day. But it is what it is. But it's a great prime example of hunting pressure exists. It's real, and it can affect you negatively, or you could get lucky and they could drive deer to you. So, it's a double-edged sword at times. I'll leave you with this, man. Indiana's a constitutional carry state. I'm very proud to live in this state. I'm very proud that they took the initiative to give us back our rights to carry a firearm. When that little critter started reaching in his fur, man, that kind of gets me. It kind of gets me worried. When he reached, I reached. It's just the way that goes. I respect his right to be in the woods. It is squirrel season. They're getting a lot more, jumpy as well, because there's not a whole lot of leaves on the tree and they can't hide either. So, we let bygones be bygones, but he was pretty creepy, and, he could have had something, could have not. But, I let the thing play out, and he was pretty cool. He went on his little way, and I went on my way. But be careful out there. Squirrels are tricky. But other than that, it's a prime example of what to learn while you're hunting. And every time you go out, it's a different experience, and you have to build off those experiences, especially if they're failures, and turn them into success. Coming down the road, there's another cold front coming through, and this one's going to bring snow. And snow's a good thing, because deer have to move as long as it's not a blizzard, where they're going to try and bed down or whatever. But if it's a light snow, it makes it a lot easier to see them. Blood trails are very visible, and it makes your job a lot easier. Go look back on the channel when I shot the buck last year, who I thought hopefully was the big guy, but it wasn't. But we found that deer pretty quick. So that's going to be coming in this week. Hopefully that will kind of, change their concept. Gun season's winding down, so hunting pressure will be lowered a little bit, and maybe we will fill the last tag. But it's gonna be this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon, and you gotta stick it in for the long hauls. And Thanksgiving Day was the longest sit that I've had hunting for Thanksgiving and not taking a deer. So we'll have to see what comes up next week. Again, I want to thank everybody that's following the channel, all the new folks. I greatly do appreciate it. When you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and you do that stuff, you go into the community tab. That really helps with the algorithms and the push of subscribers that we've seen here. That's really showing it, especially when I look at my analytics. So I am grateful for you folks that watch it. And, we'll have to see what comes on next week. So stay tuned. Again, I'd like to thank all my old and my new subscribers, and just the people that sprinkle through. I greatly do appreciate it. Again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel with the algorithms. And like always, we'll catch you on the next one.